Well, good afternoon again. I have come to the very top of our patch and I am in Austrey. It's a very beautiful part of the county. I think we're sort of almost at No Man's Heath, which means we are very much at the very tip of Warwickshire. I've never been here before. I don't know what I'm going to find. But here we are. Now, if you're not doing anything next Saturday on the 25th of July, they're looking for a working party. Some people to come and help clear the churchyard and tidy it up. So if you're doing nothing and fancy a jaunt out, then pop up. Now, looking at their website, there's been a church here since 1155. If these stones could talk. Now, looks quite dry. So there's one here, George Angus, late of Sudbury in the county of Derby. That's 1803. Now, I don't have my camera woman with me this afternoon. She's gone off to a friend's. So I am doing this all by myself, which I haven't done for quite a while. Now I think this is quite a well kept place actually, by the look of it. I mean, it's looking a bit scorched, but it has been very hot just recently. Well, that's not weird at all, is it? Now I can't go in, but we've got the vicar standing watch. That's just a little bit strange, but still. Okay, right, now I don't know if that bit popped up on the video, but the connection up here is a bit sketchy, as we are out in the wilds of North Warwickshire. But let's have a look. So the name Drake is so yes, the name Drake is popular. Sorry about that pause there. I was my phone just threw me up a message that I didn't recognise. Now, I've got no connection with this part of North Warwickshire, but it's still on our patch, and you may have a connection. You may know somebody or be related. Somebody will have ancestors that are in this churchyard. So what have we got? Jackson's, Whitbread, Lees, Finnemore, Corbett. Now I've seen Corbett a few times now. Charles Frederick Ortolany. That's an interesting surname I've never seen before. Tunnicliffe. I do believe that's quite a northern name, as in Lancashire-y type. Let's see, what else have we got? I'm not going over there, that one's sunk into the ground a bit. I think it's the... And then we've got newer ones down the back there, where they're all looking quite new. Now, unlike, well, not quite as bright and colourful as in Nuneaton today, most of these stones are still quite fancy in some ways. They're decorative, and that's quite nice. And as I was saying before, people are still taking their monuments to their loved ones very seriously. Now, I'm always interested by odd names or interesting inscriptions. Now, this one here, Frederick Allen Bryan, it says age 16, tragically killed in accident. I'm always interested to find out about some more about those people. So maybe that's something else we can look up, or maybe you might want to have a look to see what happens. And just behind him there's a grave for Alec and Elizabeth Toes, Toes. That's an unusual surname. I don't think I've come across that before. So it's quite peaceful out here. As with all of these, if you're ever doing a graveyard walk, always make sure you've got the right footwear on, and always keep an eye on where you're putting your feet. So these grounds are always uneven, and yeah. So again, we've got the name Corbett. That seems to be quite common around here. And we've got the church wheelie bins. We love a wheelie bin. So there's a side exit there to the churchyard. I do believe there's one down here. So let's go and have a look down the path. I'm sure if I stretched out far enough I'd be in Derbyshire. I should really got me map and had a proper look. Oh. See, now there seems to be this young man here, Kenneth Harold, the dearly beloved son of Harold and Hilda Stone, died 1938, age 17. So yeah, I could take a little walk across the public footpath, and as you see, we are still in Warwickshire. So there's the main gate, and so far 2 side ones. I'm just going to have a look to see if there's anything round the other side of the church. Oh, there's somebody walking their dog, so they'll see me and probably think I'm a bit mad. But hey ho, worse things have happened. Let's have a look round here. Go past the... Oh, they've even put a water bowl out for the dog, which is rather nice. So if you are watching, please say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. Maybe tell me why you're watching. Yeah. So lots of bits holding the church together. This bit's a little less pretty around here. And not really somewhere I want to go exploring without maybe some insect repellent, as I'd probably get munched on, and I've had enough of very horrible insect bites this year already. So I think that surname is Parsons. And it's a shame we can't go into the church, because I do like to go and have a look round inside a church if I can. Now from here, I think I might go to Shuttington and Seckington. I shall look on my list, but I've got the surname Wright, so the Wright family seem to be buried right next to the church. Oh, there's the vicar's door. Hopefully the man with the dogs walked past now and you won't hear me, what appears for me just to be talking to myself. So, Thomas Mercer, 1707. Well, if that's right, that's a very old grave. But then, if there's been a church on this site since 1155, probably before that. I mean, if you look up the church, Austrey Church, there's a nice little bit of history on their website. Oh, and here we are back again. So, yes, if you fancy giving him a hand if you're in the area. And, yeah. So, that's Austrey Churchyard. Yeah, it's a very hot afternoon, and I hope you enjoyed the quick flick round the churchyard. We've got the church in the background there, looking rather splendid. And I'll see you probably in about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to go on to, I think, Seckington or Shuttington, and have a look to see what's there. Okay, hope you've enjoyed it. Stay watching, and see you soon.